There is an idea so deeply woven into modern life that most people never realize it has become the invisible architect of their existence. It was never written into law. No teacher formally explained it. Your parents may have lived by it without ever speaking its name. Yet it quietly governs ambitions, shapes identities, fuels anxiety, and convinces millions that their worth can be measured against a clock they never agreed to follow. The belief is deceptively simple. There is a correct timeline for living, a proper age to succeed, a proper moment to become wealthy, a proper season to find love, build a career, own a house, accumulate possessions, and finally deserve peace. Miss those invisible deadlines, and a silent verdict begins to echo through the mind. You are falling behind. The tragedy is that this feeling rarely appears after genuine failure. It often emerges in ordinary moments, when life is simply unfolding as life always has. The days pass. The years accumulate. Nothing catastrophic happens. Yet your own story slowly starts feeling inadequate, as if it were being judged by standards borrowed from strangers. A quiet question begins to follow you everywhere. Shouldn't I be further by now? Eventually, that question stops being a thought and becomes the lens through which you interpret your entire existence. This is where most people misunderstand their suffering. They assume they need to earn more, achieve more, own more. They devote decades chasing symbols that promise fulfillment, only to discover that another promotion, another luxury, another possession simply creates another horizon. Material abundance has never been capable of satisfying a restless soul. History is filled with kings who died empty and monks who died at peace. Perhaps the real problem was never your pace. Perhaps you have spent your entire life competing with people who were never real to begin with. No one is born believing they are behind. A child never wonders whether someone else has already become more successful. An infant has no desire to outrun strangers or prove that their existence is more valuable than another person's. Those fears are learned slowly, almost invisibly, until comparison becomes so natural that we mistake it for reality itself. For thousands of years, comparison served a purpose. Human beings lived in small tribes where knowing who possessed greater experience or wisdom increased the chances of survival. Your mind evolved to observe a handful of people, understand your place among them, and cooperate with those around you. It was never designed to measure your life against millions of carefully constructed identities. Yet that is exactly what it does today. Before breakfast, your mind can encounter the lifestyles of celebrities, entrepreneurs, athletes, influencers, investors, and strangers scattered across every corner of the world. Within minutes, your brain absorbs hundreds of lives that have absolutely nothing to do with your own circumstances. It cannot fully distinguish between genuine reality and a curated performance repeated often enough to appear normal. Something subtle begins to happen. Your own life stops feeling like an experience and starts feeling like a ranking. A quiet afternoon seems unproductive because someone else appears to be building an empire. A modest home suddenly feels inadequate after seeing another mansion. A meaningful career loses its value because someone younger seems to have achieved more. Little by little, gratitude is replaced by measurement. This is one of the strangest paradoxes of modern existence. We have access to more human lives than any generation before us, yet we understand fewer of them than ever. We compare our private reality to public performances, our ordinary days to someone else's carefully edited highlights. And somewhere along the way, we forget a simple truth. You cannot lose a race that was never meant for you. There is a question almost no one asks, simply because we inherited its answer long before we learned to think for ourselves. Who decided what a successful life looks like? At what point did humanity collectively agree that fulfillment should be measured by income, titles, properties, or the age at which those things are acquired. No sacred text established these rules. Nature certainly did not. Death has never cared whether someone became wealthy at 25 or 75. Yet millions spend their lives obeying a timeline that exists only because enough people accepted it without question. Modern society has transformed desire into an economy. Every advertisement, every headline, every carefully curated success story whispers the same message. Whatever you have is insufficient. Satisfaction is dangerous for a system built on endless consumption. A person who genuinely feels complete buys less, envies less, and becomes far more difficult to control. That is why the finish line keeps moving. A promotion becomes ordinary within weeks. A larger house soon feels too small. The luxury car that once represented success quietly turns into yesterday's purchase as someone else arrives in something newer. Desire feeds on comparison, and comparison has an infinite appetite. The more you possess, the more you discover there is left to chase. Ancient philosophers, monks, and mystics understood something our age desperately tries to forget. Possessions can make life more comfortable, but they cannot answer the questions that echo in the silence. They cannot tell you who you are. They cannot quiet the fear of meaninglessness. They cannot bargain with time. Perhaps this is why so many people appear successful while carrying an exhaustion no amount of money can cure. The tragedy is not that people dream of a better life. The tragedy is spending your only life climbing a mountain, only to discover that someone else chose where it was built. The greatest illusion of modern life is not that other people are happier than you. It is believing that the people you envy actually exist. Think carefully about the individuals you compare yourself to. How much do you truly know about them? A few photographs, a career milestone, a salary estimate, a vacation, a polished smile, a short video lasting less than a minute. From those fragments, your mind constructs an entire human being. It fills every blank space with happiness, confidence, purpose, and peace, even though none of those things were ever shown. You are not competing with another person's life. You are competing with your imagination. The mind has an extraordinary ability to invent stories from incomplete information. It sees wealth and assumes freedom. It sees beauty and assumes fulfillment. It sees recognition and assumes inner peace. Reality is rarely so generous. Every human being carries invisible grief, private fears, disappointments, and questions that no audience ever witnesses. The richest people still bury loved ones. The most admired still wake up wondering whether they have wasted their lives. The most influential cannot purchase another day when time finally demands its price. This is why comparison quietly corrupts the soul. It asks you to abandon the only reality you truly know, your own, in exchange for fantasies built from appearances. The more convincing those appearances become, the more disconnected you grow from your own existence. Spiritual traditions have warned about this for centuries. Attachment to illusion blinds perception. The ego survives by convincing you that fulfillment exists somewhere outside yourself, always one achievement, one purchase, or one victory away. It keeps you chasing reflections while life itself passes unnoticed. In the end, the people exhausting your spirit are often strangers who never judged you, never challenged you, and never even knew your name. The prison was never built by them. It was built by the stories your own mind chose to believe. Every visible success hides an invisible sacrifice. The world celebrates results because results are easy to photograph. A trophy fits inside a frame. A luxury home can be filmed. Expensive vacations, designer clothes, prestigious careers, and growing bank accounts all create compelling images. What rarely appears beside them are the years that disappeared to obtain them, the relationships neglected, the nights consumed by anxiety, the quiet loneliness that often grows behind admiration. Every achievement has a cost. The uncomfortable truth is that we almost never compare ourselves to another person's reality. We compare ourselves to the reward while remaining blind to the price that was paid. History offers countless examples. Powerful emperors conquered nations while living in constant fear of betrayal. Wealthy industrialists accumulated fortunes they barely had time to enjoy. Celebrated artists filled stadiums while privately battling despair. Material success has always solved practical problems, but it has never answered the deeper questions every human being eventually faces. Who am I? Why am I here? What remains when applause ends? This is why possessions become such unreliable foundations for identity. A larger house can protect you from rain, but never from emptiness. A luxury watch measures time with remarkable precision, yet every second it counts still moves you closer to the same destination as everyone else. The body wearing expensive clothes will one day return to dust no differently than the body wrapped in simple fabric. Many spiritual traditions understood this long before modern psychology did. The more tightly we cling to what can be owned, the more fragile our peace becomes, because everything we possess exists under the permanent shadow of loss. Perhaps the wealthiest person is not the one who owns the most. Perhaps it is the one who has finally stopped needing the world to prove that their life was worth living. After everything we have explored, only one question remains. What if the feeling of being behind has never described your life at all? What if it only describes the illusion you were taught to believe? Every civilization has built monuments to power, wealth, and permanence. Yet every civilization has eventually become dust. The names that once inspired fear have been forgotten. The fortunes people sacrificed their lives to build now belong to strangers. Every possession eventually changes hands. Every title is inherited, erased, or remembered by no one. Accumulation has always promised permanence, yet nothing in existence has ever remained. One day, every bank account will belong to someone else. Every house will shelter different lives. Every expensive watch will continue measuring time for a different wrist. And every object that once seemed essential will remain here after the hands that fought to own it have disappeared. This is not a reason for despair. It is an invitation to see clearly. If nothing material can truly be kept, then perhaps life was never asking you to accumulate. Perhaps it was asking you to awaken. The greatest deception of modern culture is convincing people that they must spend their brief existence collecting symbols that death has never recognized. Meanwhile, the moments that give life its deepest meaning cannot be purchased, inherited, or displayed. Presence, wisdom, love, inner peace, a quiet conscience. These are treasures that no market can manufacture and no thief can steal. So before you compare your journey to another person's, remember this: the finish line is the same for every human being. When that final day arrives, no one will ask how many followers you gained, how much money you accumulated, or how impressive your possessions look to strangers. The only question that will remain is far simpler. Did you spend your life becoming yourself? Or did you spend it chasing a life that was never yours? If this video gave you even one moment of clarity, imagine what you'll find in the more than 100 videos already waiting on this channel. If you'd like to support this work, consider becoming a channel member for exclusive benefits, or leave a super thanks. Every contribution helps keep these conversations alive. But truly, you're already helping more than you know. Watching, subscribing, and sharing these videos with someone who needs them is support in itself. Thank you for being part of this journey.